Canada has limited amount of universities. I was left with 5 universities. The bad part about University of Ottawa is if you fail 2 courses, your degree is dropped and you cannot continue your education. Most of the universities in Canada, GRE isn't necessary. So it's not just you having good score getting into university. It's about your fit into the university and you being able to use the infrastructure and the services. Earnings were good around maybe say let's say $2,000. Indians are minority here. It's called the boring city, but if you know what you are doing and where you are going, it might not be that boring. It's not about doing a degree from Canada. It's doing the right degree from Canada. The people who are here and happy earning a lot, I still believe that I missed on many of the opportunities.
So hello everyone and welcome to College Dunia Study Abroad. My name is Anshika and today we are going to talk with Arman Velani, who's a student at the University of Ottawa. Hi Arman, would you introduce yourself?
For sure. Thank you, Anshika. Yeah, I just graduated from the University of Ottawa and I graduated with a MEng degree in mechanical engineering. I did my undergrad from Mumbai University and I completed my course and right away came to Canada in fall 2021. I finished my course a bit early in 16 months rather than 2 years. And right now I'm working with an environmental consultancy based in Calgary.
Okay, that was great to hear and we'll go in the details pretty soon. So having talked about your academic profile, you came from University of Mumbai, you did your BTech in mechanical engineering and you completed your MEng in mechanical engineering. So what other colleges you applied to and how do you think what made a difference that you got an admit here and what other admits did you have?
Yeah, for sure. Unlike USA, Germany, Canada has limited amount of universities that are good. So for me, the priority was to get into a top ranking university because I had a good profile and I uh, took the first 10 universities in Canada, which were having a mechanical engineering degree. So there are two mechanical engineering degrees and in fact, engineering degrees that Canadian colleges give. The first one being an MASC, and the second one being a Master's in Engineering, which I have done, an MEng degree. So what MASC is, it's a thesis-based degree where you study for 1 year and you do research for another. An MEng degree, all you need to do is some courses, maybe a mini project, and a co-op if possible, and you get your degree. So I took the first 10 universities actually, and then I saw the length of the course and the type of the course I wanted to apply. With that, I was left with 5 universities, which was McGill, it was UBC, it was UCalgary, uOttawa, and Concordia. I managed to get into 2 universities, uOttawa and Concordia University. I did go to uOttawa just because it did happen prior for me. I got my admit in March and I started my visa. And for Concordia, it happened a bit late, and I would anyway have gone for uOttawa just because it's in Ontario. First of all, I get the advantage of just being an English speaker rather than not having French. And also, the rankings were good for Ottawa. That's how I selected my university and the course.
So talking about the application process at this university, did you apply? Did you have a GRE score, or you applied without GRE? And how many LORs you gave, and how was the SOP structured?
For sure. For most of the universities in Canada, GRE isn't necessary.
Yeah.
GMAT is necessary for MBA programs, but not GRE. So all I need to do was give an IELTS, and I had a good score of 7.5. And then all I did was started writing my SOPs. And it is really important to highlight what in the university would be useful for you. You have a good profile, that's good. But some universities are totally into, say, let's say material manufacturing, or some say production, or some say robotics. So why the particular university you want to go into? So I had a automotive background, but I knew I did wanted to switch to environmental just because I had a view of the industry in Canada that automotive isn't that booming as maybe consultancies or environmental, because Canada is one of the countries which is very environmentally active. Every law that comes into action, Canada does try to take most of it as carbon taxes or maybe restricting the industries. So for me, University of Ottawa was a blend of each and every uh, each and every type of field. As in, there is robotics, there is material sciences, and I found out a way that University of Ottawa would be the best because it's a blend and not particularly focusing on a university.
For the
So
course,
while I was, yeah,
yeah.
so
uh,
while I was writing my SOP, I did highlight that me being from electric vehicle background, I do want to go into sustainability, and Ontario being a province with a lot of research going into sustainability and renewable energy, it would be the right spot for me to be in University of Ottawa. So it's not just you having good score getting into university. It's about your fit into the university and you being able to use the infrastructure and the services to the best.
For sure. And talking about your LORs, how many LORs did you submit to this university?
I did submit around 3 LORs. All the three from were from my professors. All three were PhD doctors, and those were professors and not associate professors.
Got it. Yeah. I think that makes a difference, but who knows? It's a black box.
Oh yeah.
And talking about, you just mentioned that environment, you have many options in this university where you can, like in mechanical engineering too, you have different streams where you can study. So is there any specialization in MEng that you did, or a particular subject that you studied and you had to do majority of courses in that subject, or it's open that you choose your subjects on your own?
Yeah, the good part about University of Ottawa is it's quite open. You can select any courses out of 10 courses, and there are general engineering courses as well. So something into business, something into data analytics. I did a data analytics course. I did a sustainability course, although it was not in my immense requirements, but I did those courses and it gave me a way out in the industry to stand out as a mechanical engineer, knowing analytics and doing environmental engineering.
So how many courses did you have to do? And you completed your master's quite early, I mean, in a year, in 1.5 years, actually, yeah. And then how many courses did you take each semester? And how many courses in total did you have to take?
Yeah, in total, I had to take around 10 courses. I was planning to do 4 courses at once for the first 2 semesters and have the last semester on me, enjoying the fall 2022. But it didn't go according to the plan. So, as soon as I got my visa in October, I knew I was not going to pass a course. And the bad part about University of Ottawa is if you fail 2 courses, your degree is dropped and you cannot continue your education. Then it's all about finding a college, maybe, or some other university in order to continue being in Canada. So I just dropped the courses. I just dropped a course and it didn't show up in my transcript as well. So I'm safe. And I believe the recruiters wouldn't be seeing the video. Fingers crossed. And yeah, so for the first semester, I had 3 courses. For the next semester, I did all the 4 technical courses as possible because I just came to Canada and I knew my social life wouldn't be that active. So I tried to do majority of my courses in winter. And for the last term, I had general engineering courses and just a technical course to be done. So it's 3, 4, 3 courses.
Okay. That's a great division of courses. People force themselves into doing 4 courses in the first semester, but it's different. I mean, the patterns are different and the way they teach is different. So it's difficult to cope up with new things all at once. Yeah. So talking about the expenses you have at this university, what was the total cost approximation of the fee that you paid?
I tell myself that I need to pay a $60,000 check to my dad. So it's about all the expenses that I've done, including the flights, the shopping, the money that I ordered from him during course, and also the fees. So the fees was around 40,000 for me just because I completed my course earlier, and another 20,000 including the GIC of 10,000, and 10,000 is okay for flights and shopping, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
So around 60,000.
Yeah. How much is the living expenses at your place, and how much do you spend on groceries on approximate, like in a month?
Uh, with the inflation going on in Canada, when I came winter 2022, I used to spend around $250-300 in groceries, and now I have to spend around 400, 425, 450 sometimes because it's quite inflated. Sometimes I see the prices in each shop are double. So when I go to, let's say, Walmart, it's 299. But when I go to some other store, it's 599, it's 699. So it also depends on what grocery shop you buy from,
Yeah.
and also how bad is the economy. So my total cost before was around 1,300 and now 1,500 because I
Rent out
live
of
in a
it.
private room. So
How much is the rent out of it?
rent, including utilities, you can take it as $800
Okay, got it.
Canadian dollars.
So you have a private room, but 800 is while you shared, or it was also.
Oh no, 800. It's so it was 700 in the winter, and now I just changed my place, so it's now 800. And I've always been into private room, so.
Got it. So, talking about your earnings, how you earned while you were studying, any part times you did, or anything else you did to just earn your.
Yeah. When you come to Canada, the first thing people do is get a job in the nearest grocery store or the nearest restaurant. Just to kickstart how it's going, and you can easily earn around $1,200 doing a part-time job, and can pull your hours to 30 hours. For the people who are already in Canada, they can work unlimited hours as a student because of the new law, like for 1 year. But on an average, you can consider around 1,200, and you will easily spend those $1,200. After that, I was unemployed during the whole summer because I was volunteering, and I knew it was a good opportunity for me and good for my resume. So I crashed at my uncle's, and yeah, in fall the earnings were good, around maybe say, let's say, $2,000 per month. Yeah, so that helped me a lot in order to negate the losses that I did on my GIC. Yeah.
That's great. So you talked about the volunteer work that you did. So what was the company? What work did you did, and how did it make a difference?
For sure. So it wasn't a company, it was in my own community that I did the volunteering, and it was way too technical to be in a community job. So it was a climate change vulnerability assessment, where we assess the vulnerability of people in a particular community, and that gave me exposure to how environmental engineering is done and how people plan for the climate change, which is maybe in 20 years far, 30 years far, but how we do the planning. So that gave me a really pioneering experience, just because the standards for assessing the vulnerability are just revised in 2021. So I just got the gist of it in 2022, which was really good for me. So yeah, and it worked as well because then I made the connections and I got a job with someone working for the same community. So yeah.
That's great. So talking about the blend of mechanical engineering and the environmental engineering that you're doing currently. So is there any connection? Are you doing something related to mechanical engineering, or it's just
For
into
sure.
environment?
Yeah, so mechanical engineering is known as mother of all engineering. So uh, mechanical engineering, first I was into automotive, and I was into modeling, mathematical modeling, mechanical modeling. And environmental engineering, it's also about data, understanding the data, and most of the emissions are done by the HVAC system in Canada. So HVAC systems is again purely mechanical. So if I am someone who understands what are the effects of HVAC systems, with my background in mechanical engineering, I also know how the HVAC system works. So I get the best of both worlds, and I will be able to comment on how it is working. And not only HVAC systems, it's also about other systems like combustion vehicles, and optimization of energy usage. So that is something that my mechanical background helped me to stand out from the people who are already doing environmental engineering.
That's great. So coming back to the university, what are there any career fairs or any events in the college that helped you find any internship or full-time offers, or it was just on your own that you did it?
There are career fairs happening every semester. There are opportunities here and there. I have met people working in the government at my university while doing a presentation out in snow. So if you can stumble upon such big people who are just right next to my university, because it's next to parliament, it's next to many governmental organizations, many big buildings. So you might stumble upon someone in metro, so it's always good to be knowing what's going around you, who is around you. And when you talk to someone from, let's say, Environment Canada or Statistics Canada, it really becomes important to have the base. And once you know someone, you just connect with them on LinkedIn and say that, you know what, I'm doing a MEng in mechanical engineering from University of Ottawa, and I've seen that you have been doing this. Are there any opportunities for me in order to learn from this? I am up for volunteering. I'm up for a paid job. I can work part time. I can even work full time. You just tell me what to do. So it's always about being open to what's coming in.
And LinkedIn, I think, is the best platform to interact with people, to know others, recruiters, and other people around you. Yeah. So other than that, you mentioned that there are career fairs. So did you attend one? What was the footfall? How many people were recruited? Probably what was the average pay that people in mechanical engineering get at your university?
Let's talk about the career fair I attended this January, like some days back, and it was attended by a lot of people. And there were like around 50-60 companies having their stalls, and people talking to HR. But what I believe is it's more about you approaching people on LinkedIn rather than just submitting a resume. There are 50 different resumes, they're just going on trash. All they're gonna do is just maybe put in the email addresses, or maybe make up a database out of your resumes. But I don't see the fruitfulness of it as much as it directly approaching someone and making tailor-made things. So I cannot be going to a material science guy just because he works in the government, tell him that, okay, you know what, I'm be doing a mechanical engineering degree. Do you have anything in material science? No, because my background is environmental. So I need to tailor fit that. I need to see, do I fulfill his needs? It's not just about getting a job. It's about knocking the right doors and getting the right job.
For sure. So if you could tell me the average pay of what is the average pay in Canada for mechanical engineering? I mean, just a number that.
Just a number would be around 60,000 to 80,000 Canadian dollars, and on a good sunny day, maybe 100,000. But it's quite rare to have $100,000 package.
Got it. So what are you currently working at? You said that you're working with someone who was there when you were volunteering. So is there a firm, or they have their own organization, and what work are you pursuing currently?
Yeah, so right now, so back in fall, right now I took a month break just to have my work permit done, and it was too stressful doing a lot of things together. So I took a month's break, and now I'm just waiting to hear back from places. And while doing my thing in fall, it was environmental farm again, and because of government restrictions, government knocking different industries that what are your emissions, how good are you performing, or is there any claim that you are making which might be wrong. They need people like us to do the calculations for them and make sure what they are claiming is right. So environmental consultancies does come in there and help companies to make claims and to sell better, and also make sure the government don't screw them because the fines are really big. So yeah, this is what I do.
That's great. So I want to know some of your experiences at the university, some good or bad experiences that you've had.
Yeah, so one experience that I would like to talk about would be where it was, I believe, November. It was snowing really bad, and we were told to, just present a poster right in front of everyone, like just go to the university. The professor was connected to Zoom. We were just live streaming him and talking to different people. And oh my god, I met so many good people. There were professors coming in. We met people from Environment Canada. They were quite interested in what we do. So being in one of the cities where there is a parliament, the people are, highly qualified, having a master's degree, and Ottawa is one of the most qualified cities, let's say in North America. And because of that, the exposure I get while talking to people is really good, and they are always appreciative. The Canadians, right? Yeah, it's not a myth. They are really appreciative. They want us to succeed, and they also help us as much as possible. It's just about you showing your right, putting your right foot forward. Yeah.
That's great. And any of your bad experiences that you had while you were in college?
Not particularly college, but I froze my hands one in like -25. And I had to, I had to run somewhere. I don't remember what particularly happened. And once I got down from a bus to wait for another bus, and I couldn't type on my phone because it was freezing -25 or something. And I just wish the bus came as soon as possible. And it did come, and here I am. So it's better to take care of yourself and have those gloves or maybe heating pads or whatever, because the weather may go worse as well. So
Okay, what's the best, like the sunniest day you've seen? What's the maximum temperature?
sunny. Maximum temperature in Ottawa, it goes up to 25, I believe. And I was in Calgary for the summer, so it went up to 33, 34 degrees there.
Good
So
day.
quite a sunny city as well. But when it goes down to -30. So on Friday, it's going down -30. So it's worse.
Good luck.
Thank you.
And I also wanted to know some of your experience with Indians in the university. Do you have a community? Do you celebrate some events, or how does it go?
Oh, yeah. For sure. Ottawa is a diverse city. There are people from Quebec, there are French people, there are English-speaking people, there are people from Middle East, and there are Indians as well. So Indians are minority here, maybe 10%. I don't know the real statistics, but there are really less Indians. But the society here is thus close. So there is a society in our university called Desi Dancers. There is a professional development club which is totally full of brown people because it's concentrated in engineering.
Okay.
And there are events happening in universities. There are party on boats, and people know how to party here. So it's called the boring city, but if you know what you are doing and where you are going, it might not be that boring.
So, did you have any Indians in your class, or? They were less
Oh
numbers.
yeah, it's full of Asians. So Indians and also people from the eastern part of Asia as well.
Mhm.
So it's mostly those, and there are some Canadians as well. So it's a diverse crowd
Yeah,
again.
that's great. I mean, so thank you so much. Do you have any last minute things that might help people who are looking to come at the same university, or some advice for people who are looking to come to Canada?
For sure. So while having the thought of coming to Canada, all people think is, doing a degree from Canada would help me a lot, maybe give me this and that. It's not about doing a degree from Canada. It's doing the right degree from Canada. It's being in the right place at the right time, or it wouldn't be that fulfilling as it is for other people. So the people who are here and happy earning a lot have planned a lot. So for me, my timeline started in June 2020,
Mhm.
and it has been going on since a while. And I still believe that I missed on many of the opportunities that I could have got. I did miss on the opportunity for applying for internships because I just came in Canada in January and I was not sure what was going on with the immigration stuff because it's always delayed. So start as soon as possible, apply for your visa as soon as you get a dream university or a good university. You can later on change the university with the web form.
Yep.
Apply in March if it's possible, apply in April first week if it is possible, apply as soon as possible, and plan really well. You should know the companies you want to get into. You should have someone on your LinkedIn who is already in that company. So maybe after a year, you can knock on their doors and say, you know what, I have some experience in automotive and I'm looking for opportunities and so simulation. Can you help me with this? Can you refer me to someone who can help me do this? People are up for it. But if you just say, give me an internship, no one's going to give you an internship. No one is going to go through your LinkedIn and, find the right internship for you. It's you who are going to find the right things for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Arman. That's great advice for people looking to come in there. It was great talking to you today.
Me too. Thank you so much.